Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And This is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the Earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees, that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 323rd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, here on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops that's been going on for quite a few years here now. And once again, we have the pleasure of being joined with members of the Universal Council and support members of the Universal Council who are presenting today's show. So let's get that ready. And we'll get it underway here. Let me get my
Thank you, Rick.
PDF.
Thank you, Rick. I don't know if you can hear me properly because I have problem with my internet. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you for supporting us all this time. I just want to say welcome to everyone who is listening today at this workshop, the 323. Thank you so much to be here, wherever you are, like we always said. And today we're going to have another teaching where we all meet up, all knowledge seeker, all Universal Council supporter, all the Universal Council member. We all meet up together to share knowledge, share information. So I have to say, every time I hear the introduction video, it's got so much information. It's got so much knowledge. I really recommend to listen, re-listen. I'm not surprised in the introduction video. There are so much information there. So I always invite you to have a listen. So going forward with the information, now we're going to have Andreas. That I'm Stefania. I'm Stefania Daddetta. I'm representative of the Italian language, and as you know, the Italian group was growing really fast. So now we're gonna start with the introduction of the 534 Knowledge Seeker workshop, the last workshop that Mr. Keshe has done. We took a little a piece from this workshop that we thought was going to be a really good to read for the introduction. Then we're going to have a little video. Then we're going to have the wishes. Then we're going to read the wish of the Universal Council. And we have much more to come. So we're going to also read the extract of the Universal Council mandate. We're going to listen also before Marie Calvi with the connection, plasma connection. In the plasma connection, we feel what we do, we keep the connection open both ways. So from the Universal Council to the knowledge seeker, and from the knowledge seeker to the Universal Council. So it's a two-way flow. So that is the meaning of these meetings, for my understanding. And I apologize as well about last week, because to be a Universal Council, you don't need to live in 2 countries. So it was my mistake. So I apologize. You just need not to be older than 60. So everyone that feel like that want to represent, because we all Universal Council, all of us, but some took position of represent. Is a kind of it's not us. We just taking a place, and then we're gonna leave, and somebody else will come after us. So the Universal Council is not us that we are Universal Council. We cover a position of the Universal Council. So this is my understanding. So everyone who feel wants to do that can apply and become a universal council for their language. So yes, so I think I said enough. So make yourself comfortable, have a cup of tea, and not be shy to share your information. Your testimonial are very precious. So if you have any experience that you want to share or anything you want to ask, this is the time. So we're here for learn from each other. So we can start now. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy.
Thank you, Stefania, and hello to everyone. It's me, Andreas, support member from the German-speaking community, and I will read a short excerpt out of the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop 534. Mr. Keshe is speaking and says, scientists ask me, how much, where does your knowledge come from? I said, I don't know. This is a knowledge of creation, and we are just the teachers. Then, in the body of the man at this time and point, and what we call place. And as I said, our thinking in the dimension of the soul, of the emotion, of the man is shared by the universe. But man only hears the voice of the man because he hasn't learned to listen to it. If you listen to the voice of the man and the soul of the man, you will see it's exactly the same message. So you have to ask how many there are, because if you have too many people teaching the same thing, you can imagine how confused the soul of the universe is. Thank you.
We, the Universal Council, wish that the leaders of each country release and promote the Keshe Foundation technology in 2024 to bring peace, health, and abundance to the citizens, animals, and plants.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to nourish all souls in existence.
Okay, I will read this wish and then we'll have some time of silence. With the Universal Council, we create condition for all religion leaders to, we have created condition for all religion leaders to achieve peace.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls for all souls to understand the knowledge to live in both dimensions of physicality and plasmatic field strength energy.
We, the Universal Council, are present. Receive what you need.
In the next part, we have soul connection with Jacko.
Yes, and my microphone was closed. So, the soul connection, we give from our soul. We are creators. And the benefit of one soul benefits totality. Create your new reality slowly, exactly how you want it to be. And don't get distracted. Just create in your vision, your creation, and slowly build it up. Avoid anything, anywhere, and concentrate on what you exactly want. Slowly include the people around you and hold on to this path by paying attention to what isn't yet in place. And adjust your attention slowly to change everything into beauty. support your creation through these higher field strength. All that was will slowly change into a new state of this higher field strength. Do not let anything distract you in your path. You are the creator of your own reality. Your mind needs to go silent to work through the fields. You are generating from your field strength within you as a creator. Keep your surroundings very clean and in a high energy frequency. You can use ganses and magraphs to keep the environment fields of a higher field strength. Through unconditional love, you are beautiful creators. Thank you. Next slide, please.
Yes, I'd like to go back a bit and play the excerpt or extract from the 434th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. I think it's about 4 minutes. I'll play that now. Antonio in the Q&A, who says, Mr. Keshe, the stronger strength of hatred and say the weaker strength of love, would this automatically be balanced, or would the love field become more dominant? Thank you again for bringing the world closer to peace.
It depends. It depends. It's very much like if you go to the extreme of alkaline, you become acidic, a weak acidic. And if you go to the extreme of acidic, you become alkaline. The strength in one starts the beginning of the, what do you call it, weakness in the other. That's how they connect. And because the fractional residue of the weakest state is the beginning of the line of the stronger. And this is how it works. And this is how do you want to connect it? Alkaline to acidic, love to hate. And our body creates the fields in that dimension and direction. And if our emotion reaches to a point, then yes, you have the tipping point, which is the start of the creation. It's when you have so much water going in one direction, you have a small thing, you see the vortex, which goes opposite, or it creates a direction of motion. It's the same more or less. It goes so much that cannot match. You have the slower in the faster, and that creates the first sign of plasma, because which is an opposite. The best of this is, if you understand it, is the solar system. Look at the direction of the rotation of the sun. Look at the direction of rotation of the earth, and then look at the direction of rotation of the moon. Then you understand. Even within the field of each other, create opposite direction of motion. One thing interesting is, we always look at the sun from our point of view. What happens, or does it happen, that any of the planetary system in the solar system, if you stand on the sun, you only see one side of it, the way we see only one face of the moon. And does the same principle applies to it? And Is that only in respect to the Earth, or is it respect to the Moon? When you go to, let's say, Jupiter, or when you go to Saturn, and look at the Earth and look at the Moon, even though Moon always shows us one face, does the one on Saturn sees different faces of the Moon because Moon is rotating different speed of it, or compare, or do they only see one side of the Moon because it's relative to Earth but not relative to them? Then you understand a lot of things. The dimension of physicality matches the dimension of the emotion, and how beginning of one is the same, the start of the other at the extremes. Any other question?
Okay, that was our excerpt from the 534th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, starting at about 2 hours and 16 minutes. Okay, now we can go back to our previous broadcasting with, I believe it's the Universal Council invitation. Let me get that set up. There you go, Mark.
Okay, this is the invitation from the Universal Council that at 9 p.m. every day we can meet on the soul level. If you enjoyed the process we just went through, and using your non-tangible reactors within your own body, let's say, within your own soul, that we can bring the planet to a peaceful, permanent condition. And this is actually the second part of creating the Dome of Peace. The first part happens on Sunday. Well, it can happen anytime, but collectively we meet on Sunday at 12 noon Central European Summer Time, or 6 p.m. And we spread Gans waters. You can put them in the rivers, down your drain, in your yard, along your city, in the oceans, and wherever. And the Gans water has a way to find balance and to bring a peaceful condition or a balanced condition wherever it goes. It seems to have a knowledge or some sort of intellect built in it that it looks to bring balance to the situation. But this is something for the physicality to do. And you're invited to do that. If you're not familiar with making Gans water, you can go to the KF Wiki page and learn how to create plasma water very simply, and then spread it or use it as you understand it. Now, Mr. Keshe says he's giving us a new path. So we practiced that for a number of years. China, I think, was instrumental in opening that up for years. They've been putting the water in fountains. But now Mr. Keshe says, let's give you a new path about using the power of the souls collectively. And as he said in the International Atomic Energy meetings there that they were having, he says, I'll handle the physicality and you handle the soul level, or start practicing using the soul level. So this is part of where this comes out. And as we see, Mr. Keshe has been doing quite a fine job handling the physicality. He's created the cosmic bundles, which is a zero-time communication system. We have wellness centers appearing where they're dissolving kidney stones, growing teeth, growing walls of the heart of people. And all these are documented. He's mentioned the Tesla car, again, in the matter state, to strip it into a hovering car. We have the remote feeding going on in Gaza and other places in the monthly pre-transmutation meetings. We've shown the CH4 and Sanya. We've also shown the gold amino acids. Cosmic ray material is being offered. So in the matter state, Mr. Keshe has put together many, many systems. As we heard in this last workshop, the technology is in our possession in a way. So he's handling the physical side. And as we see in the teachings, he's asking us to start working on the energy side of our structure, which we're not that familiar with. And this peace process is part of working with your energies. How do we elevate these hyperactive children? As we heard, we use the power of the souls collectively to actually nourish them. And of course, in that process, you become nourished as well. So there's both the nourishment of the world leaders, world religious leaders, and in that nourishment, your soul begins to become more elevated because you're actually giving, or you're serving the others, or you're nourishing the others to give them what they need, what they're short of, so they can elevate to the next position. And again, this does seem like a strange affair. We always think we have to perhaps protest or write letters or make phone calls, but we understand we have a mother connection from the Creator, that we can reach these leaders or whoever. You can reach a plant, you can reach an animal, you can reach your own soul, you can reach your neighbor's soul through this mother connection, which is the connection of the Creator, where the Creator released one ray and everything else came out of it. So we understand that everything is connected, and we have this mother connection to whoever, whatever soul we want to reach. But they're short. They're short of what they need to make that position of change in the physicality. So if it's your wish to see peace, as we heard, path of peace is made very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving, again, energies. This will create the position of change, no other thing. Even though all the systems that I just read off there about the matter state are all made to elevate the soul of the man, or touch the energies of the soul of the man. So it's not only us doing it in this dimension, but there's other things going on, and they're all coalescing to bring about this permanent peaceful condition on this planet. So then we can meet our larger family and work with the universal community. Again, you can work in the dimension of physicality with them as well. It's not only the dimension of energy that but we need to come to this permanent peaceful condition. And by you participating in this process collectively, we all have different unique fields. And by putting those fields together, it may be just the touch that's needed with your energies that'll move one of these leaders. And again, this is not a day job. This is not something where we put the turkey in the oven and a few hours later it comes out and we all celebrate and eat it. But it's a longer term work. So don't be faint of heart. But the main thing is to create this universal condition of these energies giving and receiving. And Mr. Keshe said the receiving is even more important at one location than the giving. But with that giving, you receive, you become more elevated, so then you can continue the process. It's almost like a self-feeding process. So it's for all of us to start working with these powerful, powerful energies. We thought we were powerless. We were told we were powerless by some of the men that wear the frocks and so on. But now we realize we have huge amounts of plasma energy within us, and we can use that energy or those emotions to pray for a soul of another individual that's in need, that can't get out of the cycle that they're in. So we ask you every day until we reach that permanent peaceful condition that you join us at 9 p.m. collectively, and whatever 9 p.m. means to you in your time zone, that we bring this change through the energies. It's not going to happen so much through the matter state, but through the energies. And the Universal Council is learning to work this way. We're all learning to work this way. And if you're planning on becoming a passenger of the universe, this process will help you in understanding giving and receiving energies. So again, feel free to participate in this process. This is not a meeting on Zoom. This is just you deciding that at that particular time, 9 p.m. every day, you will open your soul and pray for the others or give to the others in need. I think the souls are all connected, so we don't have to connect the souls. And the most beautiful part of this thing is that no one fails this test. We all pass the test. So start working with these energies collectively. Sometimes I can actually feel others there at that time. And you don't have to be perfectly in a quiet room or sitting alone. You can be multitasking. You can be driving your car or making dinner if that's the time the 9 p.m. comes up for you. And just become part of this and learn to start giving from your soul and serving the others, that they elevate to a higher position, because the soul needs so much. These individuals are very low, as I understand it, in the dimension of energies that they need to elevate, that they want to change, but at this, many of them, I think, do want to change and get out of this cycle, but they can't seem to find the energies to do that. And so by you providing these energies, you actually enlighten them and elevate their soul, that they can reach a position, and once satisfied, we'll see the physicality change. And this is the way we'll operate collectively here. So when we reach a certain tipping point of people participating in this process, I think we'll see more and more things come into the marketplace, and more things happen on the international level of peace. So we ask you to join this process, work through these energies, because these are the reactors, these are the energies, in a way, you'll be working with from now until you decide the demise of the soul or the demise of the physicality, or both, in the universe, and become part of the totality. So this is a learning and growing process for all of us. I'm not an expert on the soul. I'm just learning a few aspects of it. But this is the way it's done in the universe, and this is the way we'll bring the change on this planet. Thank you.
Well, that was excellent, Mark. Thank you. That was very clear and precise.
Yeah, it was like you know, when Mr. Keshe said we have to practice the other phone line. So we got the phone with the Wi-Fi, but this is our own Wi-Fi. We have to practice to connect. I remember also that he said in the energy state you connect. I remember to understand this. Yeah, it was really great. Thank you, Mark.
It's kind of a hard lesson for us to learn, because we're all so physical. We think the change is going to come by either punishing these people for their wrongdoings, or that it's an impossibility to reach them. And it is, in a way, in the matter state. You'd have to make a big donation, and maybe you'd get 2 or 3 minutes, and they probably wouldn't listen to you. But with this mother connection, with the connection of the creator within all of us, we can easily reach the others. So don't have the fears and don't have the doubts, and just try to participate in this process if you can. As I said, you can be multitasking and still ask your soul to remind you at 9 p.m. Central European Summertime or Central European Time that you'd like to participate in this process. And sometimes I forget, I do. And but then I have a reassurance that my soul has participated in the background without really my physicality realizing it. So again, this is the way the change will come. When you have enough energy collectively together, the change will manifest itself in the matter state. So thank you for listening.
Okay, our next presentation is with Marie and Claudia. And with questions, we're on, I believe, question number 3 now. And starts at 1:08 into the video. And let's begin that.
estará para proteger?
So then we are on the third question. What is the Universal Council's opinion on the cremation of the physical body or burial?
Então, vamos para a terceira pergunta. Qual é a opinião do Conselho Universal sobre a cremação do corpo físico ou o enterro?
And the first answer, the body of the man is just another frock. Is the physical side. We, the Universal Council, are the bridge to the energetic soul side. Yeah. Ashes to ashes for physicality. Soul come from and go back to the eternal source of creation on the energetic side. That's why there is no time stamp on soul level. Understand the love of the Creator. Understand the love of the creation. We as souls are living the experience of physicality for 70, 80, 90 years here on earth. And that is just a cycle. The soul power is without a limit. Start to use it, and please do it wisely. The future is bright. Build upon that love that brings back peace on earth.
Então, o corpo do homem é apenas mais uma vestimenta. É o lado físico. Nós, o Conselho Universal, somos a ponte para o lado energético da alma. De cinzas para a fisicalidade. As almas vêm e voltam à fonte eterna da criação no lado energético. É por isso que não há marca de tempo no nível da alma. Compreendam o amor do Criador. Compreendam o amor da criação. Nós, como almas, estamos vivendo a experiência da fisicalidade por 70, 80, 90 anos aqui na Terra. E isso é apenas um ciclo. O poder da alma é ilimitado. Comece a usá-lo e, por favor, faça isso com sabedoria. O futuro é brilhante, construído sobre esse amor que traz de volta a paz na Terra.
And there is another answer. You need to have a deeper understanding of the technology and the field interaction to be able to suggest an understandable concept of the two.
Então, você precisa ter uma compreensão mais profunda da tecnologia e da interação dos campos para poder sugerir um conceito compreensível dos dois.
There is another answer. The body is created by interaction between the soul of the man and the environment, the earth. And by the time of departure, the body returns to earth. When death occurs, the transfer of the energy from the soul of physicality to the soul of the man has reached a point where the soul of the man can leave the physicality. It is set free and can leave the physical body. What happens to the body in physicality is not very important. The cremation process is all related to physicality, from one state of physicality to another. The burial and cremation is more a practical disposal of the body and connected to our cultural means. With the knowledge we have gained from the Creator about the creation, and knowing that the point of death is the start of a new cycle for the soul of the man, and knowing we never lose contact with our loved ones who departs, a celebration should be the new means in the future of humanity. So in this matter world, the knowledge will change our ways of living and handling the departure of the soul of the man as a celebration.
Então, o corpo é criado pela interação entre a alma do homem e o ambiente, a Terra. E no momento da partida, o corpo retorna à Terra. Quando a morte ocorre, a transferência de energia da alma da fisicalidade para a alma do homem atingiu um ponto onde a alma do homem pode deixar a fisicalidade. Ela é libertada e pode deixar o corpo físico. O que acontece com o corpo na fisicalidade não é muito importante. O processo de cremação está todo relacionado à fisicalidade, de um estado de fisicalidade para outro. O enterro e a cremação são mais um descarte prático do corpo e estão conectados aos nossos meios culturais. Com o conhecimento que adquirimos do Criador sobre a criação, e sabemos que o ponto da morte é o início de um novo ciclo para a alma do homem, e sabendo que nunca perdemos contato com os nossos entes queridos que partem, uma celebração deveria ser o novo meio de futuro da humanidade. Então, nesse mundo de matéria, o conhecimento mudará nossas maneiras de viver e de lidar com a partida da alma do homem como uma celebração.
So then we are on the fourth question. I often notice that when someone has a disability, like blindness, their other senses become keener. Is it the soul of the man giving them a gift, or is it a compensation?
Então vamos para a quarta pergunta. Muitas vezes noto que quando alguém tem uma deficiência, como a cegueira, seus outros sentidos se tornam mais aguçados. É a alma do homem dando-lhes um presente ou é uma compensação?
And the first answer, it's a simple process that is very natural. You can see it as both at the same time. It also depends on the particularity of the situation. In some situations, blindness comes exactly from the soul, not as a gift, but as a balance in the field interaction.
Então, é um processo simples, que é muito natural. Você pode ver isso como ambos os casos ao mesmo tempo. Também depende da particularidade da situação. Em algumas situações, a cegueira vem exatamente da alma, não como um presente, mas como um equilíbrio na interação de campos.
And there is another answer. Your need for survival is creating conditions for you to develop what you need to survive. At the same time, the physical soul is communicating with the soul of the man and can create conditions in the physical body to enhance or make a disability in some structure in the physicality. So I would say that the environment and the soul of the man both have a say on the physicality. The soul of the man interacting with the soul of physicality in an environment will be expressed in enhancing or creating a disability in the physical body.
Então, a sua necessidade de sobrevivência está criando condições para você desenvolver o que precisa para sobreviver. Ao mesmo tempo, a alma física está se comunicando com a alma do homem e pode criar condições no corpo físico para aprimorar ou causar uma deficiência em alguma estrutura na fisicalidade. Então, eu diria que tanto o ambiente quanto a alma do homem tem influência sobre a fisicalidade. A alma do homem interagindo com a alma da fisicalidade em um ambiente será expressa no aprimoramento ou na criação de uma deficiência no corpo físico.
And there is another answer. Maybe the blindness is a tool to remove the distractions in physicality and make the way to the inner soul of the man easier. The soul of the man does not need the physical eye to see. When the soul of the man created the physicality, it might have chosen to experience stronger inner search and connection. and chose this special physical experience. Maybe the soul of the man chose this condition to experience a certain condition in physicality, like the love from the mother and the father. Physicality is in a way the frock of the soul, and in another manifestation, in another point and place in the universe, it will choose another physical experience. The soul of the man lives for eternity and will choose different manifestations to experience and learn more about creation. So I think a disabled physicality is an advanced way of experiencing physicality and might be an indication of an old soul.
Então, outra resposta é: talvez a cegueira seja uma ferramenta para remover as distrações na fisicalidade e facilitar o caminho para a alma do homem interior. A alma do homem não precisa do olho físico para ver. Quando a alma do homem criou a fisicalidade, ela pode ter escolhido experimentar uma busca interior e conexão mais forte, e pode ter escolhido essa experiência física especial. Talvez a alma do homem tenha escolhido essa condição para experimentar uma determinada condição na fisicalidade, como o amor da mãe e do pai. A fisicalidade é, de certa forma, a vestimenta da alma, em outra manifestação, em outro ponto e lugar no universo. Ela escolherá outra experiência física. A alma do homem vive eternamente e escolherá diferentes manifestações para experimentar e aprender mais sobre a criação. Então, acho que uma fisicalidade com uma deficiência é uma maneira avançada de experimentar a fisicalidade e pode ser uma indicação de uma alma antiga.
And there is another answer. Souls are perfect. Souls are all equal. Souls have abilities we do not yet understand. There are no coincidences on soul level. It is hard to understand this as long as we use or are stuck to the Google of physicality. Experiences on soul level always follow the love of creation. Souls have the right to experience, even if it takes millions of years, for example, as a stone. In the point of view of eternity, it's just another blink of the eye. Use your time in physicality to the maximum. Respect and honor your fellow souls. It will be much easier as soon as you understand the other soul is part of me, is my brother and my sister, coming from the same ray. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for all your knowledge and your love for all the souls in existence.
Então, a última resposta é: as almas são perfeitas, as almas são todas iguais. As almas têm habilidades e ainda não compreendemos. Não há coincidência no nível da alma. É difícil entender isso enquanto usamos ou estamos presos ao Google da fisicalidade. As experiências no nível da alma sempre seguem o amor da criação. As almas têm o direito de experimentar, mesmo que leve milhões de anos, por exemplo, como uma pedra. Do ponto de vista da eternidade, é apenas um piscar de olhos. Use seu tempo na fisicalidade ao máximo. Respeite e honre suas companheiras almas. Será muito mais fácil assim que você entender que a outra alma é parte de mim. É meu irmão e minha irmã, vinda do mesmo raio. Obrigada, Sr. Keshe, por todo o seu conhecimento e amor por todas as almas existentes.
So that was the answers from the Universal Council today, and I thank everyone who contributed. Thank you.
Então, essas foram as perguntas e respostas dos membros do Conselho Universal, e ela agradece a todos que contribuíram. And I want to say thank you again, Marie, to be here, and thank you for all the members of the Universal Council to contribute and to participate with us here. Então, eu agradeço ela novamente por estar aqui conosco e a todos os membros por ter respondido as perguntas e participado. Thank you again.
Okay, that completes our excerpt from Claudia and Marie.
Hello, good morning. The reading for today is extract from the last teaching to Mr. Keshe 534. And thank you for come today, and thank you for more time understanding knowledge for the Creator. The teaching of past few months and past few years is to bring for man to understand the knowledge beyond the knowledge of man, beyond the knowledge of what we gathered to be, what we call the earth, the wind, and fire, and the daylight and the nightlight of the man. And in a way, as I said to one of the space scientists very recently, when man goes to the space, it's darkness. And that darkness is not just physical darkness. It is a knowledge darkness. Man today, with the present knowledge he has, when he goes to space, is like a man in dark. He has no knowledge what he has to do. It's nothing except darkness. And that darkness joins in with the darkness of ignorance, the knowledge of the creation. And through the teaching of the Keshe Foundation, in the past few months and years, we are trying to educate the man how to guide himself, how to guide the darkness of light, and darkness of knowledge of the creation, and how to turn this, what they call black environment, to a flourishing space for itself to life, for man to recognize what's around it. So we have the situation where we, by choice, enter this darkness. We enter in the darkness of the universe, both in the dimension of the physicality of the observation of the man, and both with the knowledge of how to survive this darkness. And part of the teaching of past months about the soul, about the cosmic rays, is how to survive in this dimension. Man has learned how to live in the dimension of the earth. You have rain, you make a roof, or you carry umbrella, this is that, you have put a light on. We have learned everything about how to survive in this environment, and now we are endeavoring to go into another environment, and we have to learn everything about it. How to switch a light on, how to create dimension of vision tangibility or understanding the existence without the tangibility. How can we use this? If we are in this dark room for many days, what is the food? What is the fridge? How can I get the food with cold be on the table or cold be in the refrigerator? In space, we don't have a table to put the food on, and we have no refrigerator to put the food in. That is, doesn't go bad. We have to do with what is available to make that food, to make that fruit, to make the energy. Use the energy of the universe to survive. It is easier to survive in the dimension of the physicality in space, or it is easier to survive in the dimension of energy in space, what you call ganses. You get a cup of the gans and you say, oh, this is good for corona, because you believe in this. It is done, something is saved you somewhere, and then it has energy. But in fact, it's the energy of the matter state which is there. You learn it. Now you have to learn to use the energy of the universe to get rid of that corona, to get rid of that hunger, to get rid of fears of the darkness, the physical darkness, or whatever. This is what I just said very recently to the knowledge seekers and people we were with. If you go back to the patents of the Keshe Foundation, we have spoken about the system like cookers and the fridge, which have no need for wiring anymore. At that time, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, it was, or just 20 years, it was, it took during the few hundred years or 50 years, maybe. Not it's there, it's with us. Thank you.
We have gathered the technology, and then, as we said in other patents, soon man in space has to find that wireless cosmic ray connection to the fridge of the universe, and how to cook the fields to become part of the need of its existence, that the soul does not disintegrate. Now you understand all the teachings gradually opens up in how man will survive in space on his own. It's no use your wife next to you, your daughter next to you, understands how to tap into the energy, because she cannot give you that. If you haven't learned to tap into universal energy, you can't tap into her soul's energy, because you have not learned the art of surviving, art of utilizing the cosmic rays, the cosmic fields, the energy interaction, the fields interaction. You're like a blind man who cannot even feed himself, not walk on his own, and somebody's holding in his hand in the darkness of the space. Now you understand why Mr. Keshe jumps from nano into ganses, into soul, into cosmic ray. This is for you. When you are the last man standing in the space of your life, how to survive. We provide the rope, the lifeline to existence in the space. It's you who's going to hold on to this rope to get to the end of it, to the destination that you can manifest yourself, or you can use this rope to hang your soul and bring an end, in a way, demise the interaction of these fields on its own as an entity with the rest of the universe. In a way, you are that single star in the middle of nowhere. Now you have to strive to enjoy the time and place, know which to interact with, which one to avoid, and which one to enjoy, that you can exist in that dimension. You've learned that in the dimension of physicality of the man, you drink, you laugh, and everything else. But now you have to learn that in a dimension of the life in the universe. And as I said, this is all the purpose of the Keshe Foundation teaching. We are showing you the strings. We are showing you the ways how to survive. Now is the talk of a nuclear war. Who has nuclear weapons? Who's going to use it? And would it happen that you know what to do, and you can stand a nuclear radiation, change, convert into energy, that there is no physical manifestation, that no nuclear weapon and energy can touch you. And when it calms down in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months, in another position on this planet, you can manifest yourself in the dimension of physicality, and then go and look for what was what happened. So the dimension of the teaching of the conversion of the soul of the man is, in a way, another dimension, another way. The sooner you learn that no nuclear weapon can kill you, no bullet can kill you, no accident can demise your physicality, because instantaneously, on an alert of understanding, you can change in the dimension of emotion to the new size, the new energy, and move on. It's like you see a train coming. You stand in there and get hit by the train, or as you have legs and you react, you jump off and the train passes. Thank you.
up to now, the train was a train of physicality. Now the train is a cosmic race. It's a field of the universe. It's a nuclear bomb, radiation, and the fields. Are you going to stand there and watch it to come? Or are you going to stand aside and know how to jump off? How to transfer your physicality into energy and energy back to the physicality? The question is that so hard? You do it every day. Jump in front of your cars, crossing the road, not to get hit by the other one. As soon as you cross one car, the other one comes and there is a bike coming. And then, up to now, you were looking to the right. Now you are going to the same thing with the leg to cross the other side. This side was gravitational and the other side is magnetical. How you are going to survive this? The way you jungled, your way, crossing the cars, avoiding the other people running next to you. You have to do that now with your soul. You have to do that now with the cosmic race. I don't want these fields because it's too strong. I need the other fields, which is weaker. It speeds my soul. It gives my dimension of its what I can tap into. Today, I don't need a strong field. I need a lighter field. And the rest. There is no difference in the dimension of existence, in the physical dimension or in the energy dimension. It's just man, because it has never had experience. Now has become a dilemma. This is why people like me looks very clever, and he knows everything. We understand the principle of the creation, and every man has that capability. It's not exclusivity of the creator, and he certain creates things, call it ayatollahs, priests, the rest of it. This is why Keshe Foundation has no religion. There is, where I say, scientific organization. Because we have to survive the journey of the physicality of the man in the universe. Not only in this planet. We have done enough journey of physicality on this planet. We do it 50 years, 60 years, 90 years, and in the end we lose. Because we never learned how to tap into the energy of the universe. Then the energy centers the parts, because he knows and he survives somewhere. This body finished. I go to the next, in another position and dimension. And if you have a target to achieve, you just change the physicality into another one till the dimension of elevation of the soul is achieved. It's not reincarnation, it's a transmutation of the soul from one to another dimension. And you can do it as long as like if you know the art the way you do. Thank you.
We spent thousands of years here, and everybody thinks, oh, but it's the same. It's the same community, the same people. Say, oh, I've seen you 2000 years ago. What happened there? What happened there? Can you organize this? Now they are waiting for Christ to put somebody on the cross. We tell something and then move down. Further, another 2000 years. Same guy. Who this guy? I'll be calling prophets. So and so, and the rest of it. Because we said it's going to come. They believe in it. So we play it. So you understand the whole purpose of teaching is to give the man the art of survival, both in the dimensions of physicality, not only on this planet, but when you transmute and manifest yourself, is the same art. You have to take some energy You have to release what you don't need. Maybe you store something in it for the bad days, the rainy days, and if it fits the right way, it's a happy place. I stay a little bit. I use lower cosmic rays for this environment. I lose the little bit higher environments, the energy fields, and other cosmic rays. But at the end, I absorb the fields of the universe, what I need from it. And this goes back to all teachings that I keep on saying. What we eat is 20%. The other 80% comes from the universe. We put that food in the mouth, we put a trap, and the universe feeds that connected to that trap. And it feeds it. And in coming to reach it, our cells absorb what it needs. In a way, if you look at it, the food we eat is the cheat to absorb energies from the universe. We put a little trap to absorb more from the environment of the universe. If we learn, if we master the art of what we put in our mouth, we master the survival of the universe for thousands of years. The food we eat is a cause of our demise because we don't control what we put in. And so what goes in, it absorbs everything in which our body doesn't need. And because it doesn't need, it has to work to get rid of it. You age and, ta-da, you're given 6 foot under. If man realizes this, if man comes to absorb the energy of the universe, instead of feeding itself with a dimension of physicality, man is immortal. Because you are part of the totality, and the totality has never died. The mastery, the art of it, to know what to take from it, the strength you take from it, the way you take from it, and to give to it what you don't need. Because if you keep, you become an attraction point, and it becomes that cancer. Now you understand what I keep on saying, and I keep on teaching, that you take what you need, because what you keep as a surplus is the cause of your demise. Does not matter in which dimension of physicality, energy in the universe you decide to live. Then you understand why we teach about cosmic rays, why we teach about the soul, why we teach about understanding the process of the creation, that all are interconnected. You take too much soul, you give the cancer of the soul, and that cancer soul cannot have transferred it to the physicality of the man. It's the energy pack I don't need. Now you understand why we cover all aspects of the knowledge of the universe. Now you understand those who never understood play the game of, oh, they are playing with the soul. He wants to take your soul. Oh, he's telling you about the cosmic ray. He wants to take you to the end of the universe and leave you there to rot. He can rot. It's not a refrigerator. You frozen for the rest of your life. If you go with the physicality of man, a nice human-looking ice pack floating in the dimension of universe. Thank you.
Now you understand, for you to survive the span of universe, you have to master all art of the creation, not some parts. And this is the purpose of the teaching. This is the purpose of what we teach for you to understand, to gradually unravel the secret of creation by yourself. Because you are the last man standing. Just because your son has become a doctor and a professor in physics does not make you a professor and whatever as the father or the brother, because he talks about something you have no knowledge. And to you, it's just a riddle. To this purpose, to this reason, for what we teach is for you, not for us. It's for you to understand how to tap into the universal energies that you need. Don't take the bigger one. It's the cause of your demise. This is why the energy, the GANs of the amino acid, of the physicality of the man is important. And it has its own fingerprint. This soul which is created from the amino acid of the atmosphere of this planet, has its own fingerprint. It has our own strength. And that strength belongs to planet Earth. It's that seed you put into the pearl, that then everything around it collectively makes the pearl, but still is what's in that center, which is the cause, which is the essence, which is the reason for existence of the pearl. And if you look at it that way, the soul of the man is that seed, and the body of the man is that pearl. You change the environment of the area, the what you call covering of the pearl will disappear one way or another. But the seed will be there. You find that stone, that center, which started the whole structure of the pearl. Now you understand why and how we have to gather all the knowledge of the past years. As Rick says, over 10 years, over thousands of years, which man has been here. And what he missed, what is to do with the physicality, what to do with the energy, and then man will conquer the universe. For himself, not for anybody else. We do not have kings and queens and emperors in the universe, as no one can conquer no one's souls. No one can possess no one's souls. No one can dictate to no one's souls. And the ones who try to dictate soon will find out that they are the losers, because it's them who deprive themselves from receiving what is available from the others. Now you understand. As we go deeper in the knowledge of the creation, it's for you to understand the process of the creation, from physicality to the energy, from energy to physicality, and how to survive each dimension. You want to stay in the dimension of energy for thousands of years, billions of years of planet Earth's time. You're quite welcome. You can do it. There is no reason why not. But you have to master the art of where to take, what to take, what to give, and what to do. And if you become clever enough, you can tap into the universal energy knowledge, which is the information which is part of the soul of the emotion of the universe, and learn about the process of the creation from the day one. You get access to the knowledge of origin. You get access because it's there. It's you who's got to tap to it. Thank you.
It's like your brain. You know this figure means A because you've been taught. You know, you recognize this is A and this is 1. Your soul has the same knowledge, knows what it means when it comes across energy fields in the universe. And those who try to be greedy, to own it, to hold it, are the ones who lose it because they create that energy field, which ends up in their own demise. When we store the energy of the emotion in the wrong place, in the dimension of physicality, we create for it. We give ourselves cancer. There is no difference in the dimension of the fields of the universe. When you gather energies which you don't need, it has to go somewhere. And that one day, somewhere, it interacts. It disengages to interact and creates the change in the energy balance of the what we call plasma of the soul of the man. And the man becomes a new thing and not what the man was in the dimension of the soul. So what we teach you is not that we want to control your soul, and we are soul catchers and the rest. Now, no, it's for you not to lose your soul, that it cannot be caught by no one's, but it's the end and demise of you. And those who try to control you, they put their fear about the knowledge which you're gaining to understand the freedom. Let me read that again. So they put their fear about the knowledge which you're gaining to understand the freedom. Because if you become free, they can't abuse you. And if you become free, then there's no devil that they'll be scared of, that then they can do what they like with you. You know the trend. What do the abusers do? What do the pedophiles do? They always tell the child, it's your fault that I hurt you, because you've done something wrong and you listened to somebody else. So I have to do this to you. And those people who tell you, is this, they are trying to control your soul through the Keshe Foundation? You cannot. You get the freedom of life in the universe. And it's you who have to understand how to create that light. As I said once to the children in a school, when we were teaching them about the technology of the plasma, you've seen it in the movies. They light a torch and they shake it in front of them to see what's in the front and whatever, or to hold it. You can do that when you're on the planet Earth and there is oxygen. If you have the same flag and you go into a mine, but there is no oxygen, you shake it as much as you like. There is no light. There is no oxygen to put the fire to burn. Thank you.
How do you create that light in space when you have no opposition? You create a dynamic field, and the interaction of that dynamic field with its environment creates light, the way the light is done on Earth. Now, what is hard for you to understand the difference? One is in the dimension of physicality. You need a physical matter. One is in the dimension of what we call motion of the fields. One is for matter state and one is for dimension of the energy state. And that light which you create from the plasma of the field does not need to be physical, because once you do, when you light it, when you absorb the energy, you show the energy of the environment can be within the soul of the man, for man to be enlightened. The way you put the seed in your mouth to absorb 80% in, you can put the same thing, the energy of the emotion of love within the soul of the man, and make the soul of the man absorbing the other energy of the love of the Creator to it. And it's a secret to find a way to your Creator, to seed in the love, the what we call unconditional love of the creation. Then you can reach that position of understanding the process of creation and the path to the Creator, to essence, to the source. Now you understand. We had to do this correction. We had to open your eyes to understand why you are doing the cosmic race, why we connect to the cosmic fields. On Earth you have the apple and banana. In the universe you need cosmic fields and cosmic rays in how much you want, what you want. On Earth you have roads. In the universe you have the magnetic field path that creates you to where you want to go. There are no roads, there is no tarmac, and there are no donkeys, and there are no jumbo jets. On Earth you decide, you turn the engine on, and you go to a place, to get to the place you want to go. Because your exhaust is in the back, to push it to the front. In the universe, you create a lower field strength compared to the destination. And then what happens? Or you use a higher strength of the soul to move away or to absorb. It is the same. So now you have to understand it's getting to the time where the man has to decide, would he like to be donkey or to be donkeyed? Wants to live in a dimension of physicality and suffer with the dimensions of it, the hunger, the pain, and everything else with it, or live in the dimension of the energy with no limitation. The only difference between the two, as I always said, we come to the dimension of physicality because it has advantages of touching, feeling, and showing the love. And that's the only three things which is different between the dimension of physicality, energy, and the dimension of what we call energy of the universe. The love, and this is how Mitra was created, and then attracted the Creator in the mythology of the creation. Then you understand. You have to know if you want to live in the dimension of physicality or you want to live in the dimension of energy. And I can use some of the knowledge of dimension energy to live a more comfortable life in the dimension of physicality and vice versa. Then you understand the purpose of the teaching. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Andrea is speaking. I'm also support member of the German community. Last week, Dean and me spoke about the Universal Council Charter. Today, we continue with the first part of the Universal Council mandate. All this knowledge is very important for every knowledge seeker of the Keshe Foundation family, as we all together are the Universal Council. For my understanding, everybody has to study these rules. When you understand this knowledge, you can recognize that the ethos of Mitra, think good, speak good, act good, is included. In a way, I would say it's a universal Bible of the Keshe family. At last, we have to live this ethos every day with the possibility to become a pure soul. Additional, when we get in touch with the universal community, when we want to transmute and travel in the universe, it's a fundamental knowledge to apply. United in peace, one planet, one nation, one race. The Universal Council Mandate, first part. The soul of the Universal Council member should shine like the light of the Creator, to be the source of light for other souls and radiate the light of the beauty of the Creator, and have and try to reach all attributes of the soul of the Creator.
In time, creatures of the universe shall see the light of the soul of the man, and not the physicality of the man.
Members of the Universal Council are chosen by strength of their souls, alone in serving the humanity and the universal community, and never by others.
The members of the council can't announce themselves as a member of the council unless it is announced and registered under the council's registrar panel.
No members of the council can ever speak as themselves, as being a member of the council, to influence their opinion or words, as then, if done so, at this point, immediately they lose their seat in the council, and a new member can stand for the vacant position.
The members of the council shall not be elected, but chosen by the soul of the man. For it to be able to serve the humanity as the soul of the council members self-select themselves.
The dedication of the soul of the council comes from service through giving from the soul and not by talk or physical actions.
No member of the council has the right, or can or ever should be, elected by giving their time, money and effort on promoting oneself, as the others see the true soul of the man and his intentions.
Those who try to show that they are better servants of humanity, they do not stand a chance to take a seat in the council.
A Universal Council member cannot nominate a new council member, otherwise they lose their seat in the council.
The Universal Council is here to serve those who live on Earth and in space with true intentions and not spoken words.
Once in space and in due course, men will observe and feel other souls and not its physicality and voice.
Man in space will understand his true value, and this council becomes the true representation of the interest of the whole of the souls of the Earth, both on Earth and in space.
There shall be no head of the council elected, as the souls through their own position and serving humanity will find balance to create a balanced council.
There shall be no voting, as one sees the truth and feels the real intention of others.
In the council, once one promotes a certain motion for it to establish as effective course for elevation of the souls or collective soul of the race of the planet, or do something for the good of the man, then the other souls will understand and support the motion of the presented case through their intention and support of the soul, and not by voting.
The Universal Council is to be the bridge between humanity and the universal community.
The Universal Council will be the contact point for all humans and other beings traveling in space or beings visiting planet Earth.
The Universal Council is responsible for interaction with the universal community, means conditions, interface, visitors, for those already here.
The Universal Council will be the interface between on how to share on Earth new technologies offered by the universal community through open source and free for all.
And now the definition of key terms. Soul of the physicality. In each entity's body, each cell of the body has a soul. All those souls combined make the soul of physicality.
The soul of totality, essence. This is the soul that is the creator of physicality, of entities. Thank you. And that concludes the reading for today from the definitions of the key terms and the mandate of the Charter of the Universal Council. Thank you for listening. Andres, I believe you would like to read this today.
Hello to everyone. Andreas again. It's about the transmutation preparation session, which is now on April the 26th from 9 to 5 p.m. Central European Summertime. And in this session, we know our soul gets expanded, the magnetic field pressure of the blood is lowered, and this is what happens in the night when we sleep, and so our soul can expand over our solar physicality and the physicality, and so our soul is interacting on a higher field strength with its environment, and also which is on a higher field strength. So that means you can interact with other souls or strengths which are on this level, and so you can visit your died forefathers or your mother or your uncle, but also you can go to other places in the universe, on the moon or wherever, but also you can interact with the 80% which feeds us, our physical body. What we heard before, that we eat 20% and 80% we receive from the environment. And all this and other things we can learn in this transmutation preparation sessions. And the main target is then to transmute from matter state into energy state. And these sessions now go since December 2022, I believe. And a lot of us, all sessions have different topics where you can then go consciously in this direction. For example, you think on food, you receive then the food as energy. depends how good you can do it. On the other side, then there is the Keshe Foundation, and they can observe us, how we behave, but also then what we report after the sessions. And so they can adjust the systems to deliver specific things better. And so for us, it's a wonderful way that we can experience the energy dimension more and more. And also for the Keshe Foundation, it's wonderful because we help to develop the systems, to improve them. And for what are we doing that? For a better world where, like it is in Gaza, where the people can receive food and medicine as an energy over the systems. And we help to improve the systems, and they get better and better. And after the time, they can feed more people. And of course, at the end, the target is that the whole world has these fields all the time, and everyone can receive and add to the fields what he wants. One thing which is important to mention, a few people report, I feel nothing, there is nothing, this is not working. And for myself is every time the answer, you have to give to receive, but don't expect somehow to receive. So even when I'm not at the sessions, I feel happy for everyone who is in there. I wish and feel that everyone can learn in the systems, can have experiences in the systems, what us all together bring forward. And then suddenly, or very fast, I got also connected to the system, especially when the sessions are running. It's very strong, but maybe it's just for me, from myself, a lack of trust, because it's every day possible to connect to the systems and generally to connect to the energy level dimension. And so we all, as we heard, learn that with soul connections. We do soul connections, which are also a great opportunity because we do it all at the same time. It has a different quality, or let's say feeling. And yeah, through these soul connections, through these sessions, we learn more and more. And these sessions are a fantastic opportunity to learn that even much faster, because the systems help in expanding the soul. And so we can learn faster and faster to do it ourselves. And as I said, it has a lot of other advantages too, also for the Keshe Foundation and for the whole planet. And not only for humans, for the animals, for the plants, and also for every other creatures and the universal community. So if you want to experience that, join it and have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. That was beautifully explained, and I'm sure everybody appreciated the intention and the beauty that you shared behind that message. Rick, there was a couple of images that, so the people that would like to join the sessions and would like to know how to connect physically on a telephone line, if you don't have the actual set from the foundation, then there's a couple of images here just to show you the quick connection that you would need to be able to join the session. Thank you, Rick. So as you can see here, we have obviously the phone. You're going to need a phone. And then you have two headsets. And you're going to need one headset to obviously put over your ears, and another headset that you can connect to another part of your body. And many people have been putting it around the top of their head the opposite way. So you've got like a four, if you can imagine the two headphones across the top of your head normally, and then the other two across the other way across your head. It's onto the sort of like the soul aspect in the back of the head. But then also many people have been using the second set of headphones to put on various other parts of their body that need to receive some energy in those moments. So the connections, as you can see, there's a universal connector from the phone itself that you will need to actually receive. That is the small white one here, and you would need to go to a shop, many mobile shops and shops that sell lots of different audio interfaces and other things would sell these sorts of devices. It basically is a connector to a C-type position on a phone, or one if depending on what phone you have. And then the other end is a jack situation. I think it's a 3.5 jack. Or is it 1.5? I can't remember. I think it's 3.5. So it's a jack, and then you have this other one in the middle that splits the information to two other points. I'm explaining this. I'm not the most technical person. I believe that if they would speak, someone like Elias, who's very good technically, would be able to explain why we need this setup. Elias, are you available to speak? No, it doesn't look like Elias is able to speak. So, so this is the connection points that you will need. And then once you've connected these up, obviously, then you would relax into the sessions and receive the energies over the phone from a centralized position, which is being sent through on a field strength that you're going to receive from the centralized position of the how can I put it, servers, the universal energy positions that are present around the planet, that are the technologies that are brought forward by the foundation and Mr. Keshe, for you to receive these beautiful energies, for us to receive whatever it is that we need in those moments. And as Andreas was rightly saying, different sessions are being held that give you different energies, and Mr. Keshe will talk you through and walk you through the procedures of what is required for that particular session. And then just come with no expectation, come to be present, to give, to actually give more, to receive more, and then you do receive, and have an open condition with inside yourself. Make sure your core, your center, is ready to receive what you need. What is your center? What is it that you will need to attract, that you are part of? So once you've connected to the systems, then you can receive this transmutation preparation for the full preparation of what is to follow. Obviously, these conditions are being brought forward by Mr. Keshe in Iran to follow, and then I think there's going to be another one in America. And so the people that are present in the actual conferences may get to experience this or see possibly a transmutation. However, each and every one of us are transmutating in each and every second. And when you actually connect to this, you'll receive what you require as a soul, whether it's in a physical form or whether it's in an energy transfer of in a soul aspect. So you're the captain of your ship, and be ready to receive, like the universal flow, what it is that you need in these moments. So thank you, Rick. Thank you for showing the pictures and the images. Thank you all for listening.
Hello, this is Mosfik, representing Bengali language as a Universal Council support member. So here we are again on transmutation. And today we're going to look at transmutation as transmutation of knowledge. This relates to the darkness that we face when we are in space. The feeling of darkness that Mr. Keshe mentioned in the last Knowledge Seeker workshop is the darkness of what to do, the knowledge we need to operate in space. Where does this knowledge come from? Well, we have been exposed to the knowledge that has been presented over the last 10 years in these Knowledge Seekers workshop and various other teachings and interviews and private teaching. And as we have been told, even if Mr. Keshe talks for 1,000 years, it will be just a scratch on the surface of this vastness of knowledge, vastness of the knowledge of space or the universe. Perhaps a better way to say it would be creation. Now, as we venture into space, the space of fields and energies, from our limited condition of physicality on this planet, how do we go about going there without having the knowledge? Yes, we have listened to many of the Knowledge Seekers workshop, but is that enough? I'll start with very mundane, almost too simple an example. And this is from my own experience. I have talked about dealing with various health conditions in my surroundings. Especially, I treated many poor people. And there are cases where they came with diseases. Well, if I think of all the Knowledge Seekers workshop I've heard and know about, it doesn't match anything I have heard. So how do I go about handling these kind of health conditions? The person who came to me obviously has the need. Not always, though. Some are not as clear-minded or as humble about their need as the word may suggest. The first thing that I have to navigate this unknown condition. I'm not a medical trained personnel. So So I connect with their soul. And that's how I try to understand the situation. And then I have to solve this health condition, of which there is, as far as these guys often have been to the doctors, it's not a very simple situation. And I have never heard anybody in Keshe Foundation mention about any of these things. So my intent in that situation is that I want to make him feel good. That is my intent and single focus. And that is what allows access to the fields
sobre esse amor
that creates the healing process. So our intent, in a way, is the access mechanism to the knowledge that's in this vastness of space, of fields and vacuum. It's not vacuum, it's magnetic field and plasma and all light and everything there. The knowledge is part of the field. When we use these fields, we get enlightened. We use for the benefit of others. Sometimes we use the term we give to others. But in the process, we receive the energy to do it. That's the light. We shine a light in the fields to get the knowledge, to make the transmutation, in this case, these patients. I didn't read it in a book. I didn't see it in a video. Nowhere. But it was done. Am I anything special? No, not really. At that point, I'm just an ordinary man. I had the desire or the intent to access
Hello, Mashfaq. Oh, we lost his audio.
Confirm.
Hey, thank you. Hopefully he'll be back shortly here. Here he comes.
Sorry, I got disconnected. Where did I get disconnected?
Well, just a sentence or two ago, basically, but
okay. So, the access to the fee. I'm just an ordinary person, just like anybody else, and treating a poor person from Bangladesh. Nothing outstanding here. The only thing is that I wanted to access the knowledge or the fields that I need to transfer to this person so that the person gets healed. Yes, my exposure to this Keshe Foundation knowledge and this way of thinking did help, obviously. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have even dared to do this. I mean, we have been brainwashed with all kinds of fears. So this is something. This is the trust and the confidence that one needs, develops from listening to and participating in this Keshe Foundation activities. So the person benefited. That person didn't need to know anything more than that. All he had was a clue that somebody may have some understanding that is beyond normal that can help the person. So in navigating the emptiness of space, it is us who finds, each of us finds the source of what to do. Light up that part of space or the fields to carry out the task. And there is no book or a video or a formula for it. This is what Mr. Keshe says, last man standing. We are on our own. We cannot encapsulate this knowledge of the fields in any book or anything. It is us, our soul, that is part of this. And we have to find what we need there. Of course, we have to be specific. And how can we be specific without knowing anything about this? I'll give you a very sort of, from a very mundane example to a very esoteric one. So I was experimenting with the fields of traveling, and one of those was the traveling to the edge of the universe. So this was my first attempt to kind of go to the edge of the universe. How does it look from there? It felt different, and there are sources of light around me, but I didn't know what to do with these things. And so I assumed that they're something outside of the universe. So then I thought, well, then I kind of stopped. I stopped doing it. So, and then another time say I will try more. And by that time we developed the understanding is that once we cross the universe, we go beyond carbon-14 field to carbon-16 field and so forth. And so next time when I was doing the same thing, so I see that one of these areas that I'm noticing is very bright. So I thought, if it's bright to me, that means there is some sort of connection with me. So I went that way, and this is outside of, according to how I felt, current universe. But at the edge of that sphere of light, I thought, this is not the same as our universe. And I cannot go there unless something changes in me. And then there was an interaction with the light, and there was some change. And I was in there, and it felt very different, very unlike all my traversal in the universe, within the confine of the universe. It just felt, I stayed there for a little bit, I said some other time, but it was different. So let's come back to our Knowledge Seekers workshop now. There was a time when there was a discussion on neutron fields. So one of the things that was mentioned is that the neutron fields in each universe is slightly different, or the hydrogen field, you can call it that. And so in order to go to another universe, we have to adjust our field. I didn't remember any of these things when I was doing this, but this is later on, it just came to my mind. Okay, so this is what happened. So everything in me changed in a way. All the neutron field changed in order for me to be able to access that area. As to whether this is real or not, it's up to you to consider. But this is an experience that was very odd in my mind. But nevertheless, that's how I felt it. Did I read any book to do it, or thought about certain knowledge seeker workshop to do it? No. yes, I do have the basic understanding of there's a universe, there's beyond the universe, there are other universes, and there are field differences in other universes. But the interesting thing is that only one of them I matched with, not others. And I can even, if I go to the edge where I went, I have done it a few times, so I'm just telling you, it's, I mean, in 3D space, it's at the same place all the time. It's a very interesting phenomenon. I never miss it. It's exactly at the one place. Anyway, this is, but is it any different from treating that person that came to me? I would say no. It's the same thing. It's a different level of access, different energy fields, and different order of fields or field strength, but it's the same thing. Yes, I was operating within the carbon-16 environment. These are kind of like details that I've heard from knowledge seeker workshop, but as a part of the experience, none of these came in. Only thing I knew that there was that light changed me, and that allowed me to have access to this area. So here's an example, kind of strange, but it's not any different. In my mind, it is not any different from treating a person of a health condition. And by the way, that health condition was, I've mentioned this before, it was a poor man whose hand was completely like, it was secreting all kinds of white fluids, and he worked with his hand, so nobody would touch his hand. But one of the things I did in that treatment, there has to be, sometimes it has to be physical. So I actually shook his hand as if it's a normal hand, and it took like a couple of days for him to completely heal. So I'm very happy about that. But is it a miracle? Not at all. I mean, in our old time system, yeah, we can call it a miracle, but I don't think so. It's just the access and delivery of particular knowledge. Can we do more than that? Yes, I mean, many of us have experience in creating light within our hand. Actually, this is a good place to start. If we can light between our hand, can we light any other areas of the field as we navigate? And I mean, we have to have the trust that we can do it. It happens, and we can't be arrogant about it. And it's just a normal thing. Is it real? You be the judge. I'm just telling my own story. It can be just a story as well. Is there a reality behind it? It's for each of us to explore. I cannot give it to you. Nobody can. And in a way, this is the beauty of it, and the interesting and the fun part of it. In a way, we navigate our own space. We create our own space in a way, space and time, both. But have fun, enjoy it, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mashfaq. Our next presentation is what is happening behind the scenes in the world is the title, with Eleanor Fanny and interview with Mr. Keshe. And we're playing it from about the 30 minutes into the video here. Okay, I'll play that now.
Proprio riguardo all'oro, about gold, questa è una domanda che mi è stata fatta.
Just regarding gold, this is a question that I was asked. I mean, it was written on my channel by many people, and I personally think it's a silly question, but since it's so common, I'm going to ask it, and it is, since it's possible to produce gold and convert it into spendable gold, why does the Keshe Foundation need grants, donations, when they could produce as much gold as they want?
We don't need the money. Money is not the objective. We set money to billions because we would have bought the technology and shelved it. Is everyone to participate in it that they can keep it going? There's a big difference. We can produce anything. We can produce kilo of plutonium, 100% pure. Governments pay billions for it, we don't need you. I don't even need to talk. The whole object is that to bring more people to participate in it. Let them make gold. A few knowledge seekers tried to make gold, but they didn't succeed. Some made some gold, but they couldn't convert it. You understand? So objectives are gold. We work within the structure of sharing knowledge. Otherwise, we can do everything else. Gold is worthless compared to materials I can produce. We produce a rare earth material that the American government will pay a few $1 million a kilo of it because the American technology development in science is stagnating because the Chinese have bought all the rare earth materials past 30, 40 years, locked it. West cannot move. And now we produce rare earth materials in the United States, and we told the Chinese we're going to do it. And the Americans, instead of me making $56,000 a kilo, they pay me $4 or $5 million for a few grams. But that is to change the condition again between China hold on the science and technology development and force the nations to speak to each other. This, I can live a king's life, but I live within a frame that we carry people with us. People have to carry this knowledge. It's not that we lost tens of millions in past year and a half, 2 years by fraud, which is now in the Austrian, legal frame, by people set up deliberately by other governments to do this. We slowed down. Now we're back up again. We had to sort a lot of things, and then we had a corona at the same time. Everybody says, you know, it's a big problem, and I thank God both for losing the money and with the corona, because it blocked us, and we have enough sciences. We developed. We went into the labs. We concentrate on development. If you see, I showed at the beginning of the conference, we used to make a gas machine. We showed a year and a half ago, we can literally get hot Mercedes, what do you call it, inside it. It was so big. Now it's reduced to a bottle. That's the technology development. And very soon it'll be in a small container. So, did we go outside? Did we rob people? Did the Keshe Foundation work stop? And when we saw the development, we needed money, we went to the Keshe Foundation Knowledge Seekers. Says, for the first time, Foundation is asking for support. And it came. A lot of people supported us. But we are not in the hand of the governments. We didn't sell the technology to get money to research. We are independent, nobody can touch us. Nobody can dictate to Keshe Foundation what to research in and where to research in, because we stay independent. And the cost of the Keshe Foundation on a monthly basis is in 5 and 6 digit is not what we run labs which people, if we don't pay one of our staff 1 month, we go into problem. If you don't pay our bills, we go into problem. Just the internet, you go on the Keshe Foundation, whatever, with all the backup to it, it costs the foundation about 30,000 a month. Just you go into kf.global. It's not just that, it's updated, upgraded, server change, servers brought in. The staff, we pay like you do. Zoom charges so much, we pay nearly 10,000, 8,000 a month just to the internet companies. And then you have IT staff, everything else. Forget about our research. That side, you're talking about 20,000, 30,000 a month. Then you put our research on. You don't want, did we go bankrupt? Did we stop one day not broadcasting? Did we stop it? Actually, in the time we lost more money, we invested more in research, and that's what you see. In the heart of Corona, we opened the exhibition. 2,000 square meters, a lot of Italians. So we don't need to print gold. We have a gold which is the knowledge in our hand, and that is carrying us through. I don't need, what do I want to do? I eat. I used to be much thinner, and because of the Corona, I ate a bit too much, I got fat, and now I have to diet to lose it, to go back to what I was. What am I gonna do with the money? You understand? And our staff are paid the best wages in Europe, outside. Wherever our people served correctly, our staff in Austria are paid wages that actually, we are taken to court by the government recently in Austria because we paid too much to somebody who was supposed to receive so much. We are in court because we paid our staff more than what is legally allowed. We are in court today. We can go to the court and say, the judge says, law in the country says, for this class, let's say you pay 2,000, why have you paid 2,500? They're penaltying us, and I sat in front of the judge says, these people we train, doesn't matter. Because you're paying too much, then the others have to pay too much, and the economy cannot support. And I said, I thought we were respecting our workers. Cannot be. They were paying penalty for paying, and where we saw mismanagement, we closed. Very directly. You're trusted to do, you have to manage. Where we saw there is no development, we closed. Where we saw abuse, we closed. We closed one of our biggest operations in South America, or Central America, because of the abuse we found in it. Keshe Foundation became cover for illegal activities, which was covered under my name. I closed, I sold, I moved out. Because we trusted somebody who we thought we trust. The same thing happened in China. We gave it to the manager who was incompetent to manage. We closed, now we come in a different direction. The same in other places. We were extensively busy in Thailand. We moved out because there was some things we couldn't understand. Keshe Foundation in 2018, 17 had a 350,000 euro per month wage bill. Do I need to print? Did we go to anywhere? We have no overdraft. I can open all the bank accounts. We have not a cent. It's our money. I invest it privately. And where I need, when I see operation work, I invest. Honestly, we run into problem with governments, which is a different thing. I don't need to print. What I don't need was to use carrying more gold. It's not printing, it's sharing the knowledge, but carrying the governments with us, carrying the people with us. And this is more knowledge. 10 years. I think tomorrow is 530th week, non-stop. For 10 years we taught education. information, and everybody takes from it what is not. So I don't need to print more. My goal is the investment of the people you saw yesterday in past 4 days in conference. When they're here, they don't ask for anything. They're here to share knowledge. They're here to respect the knowledge. And I think we had from 20, 25 countries or islands and nations in a conference. This is the gold, not what's in the pocket. We can produce.
Molto bello questo. E spero che chi
This is very nice, and I hope that the listener can understand this by stepping away a little from the economic dynamic that has unfortunately invaded today's thought form.
Passando a un altro argomento.
Moving on to another topic, in the previous interview you spoke of your willingness to intervene to help Gaza in the current war situation. Can you give us an update on what has happened and what the Keshe Foundation has managed to do for the Palestinians in recent weeks?
Gaza is very complicated, both for government and scientists. And we have the technology. How we are involved in Gaza is not that we're sending food. We're a scientific and space organization. We have developed the technology where if you want water, I carry the energy of the water to you to the moon. You don't need to carry the water. You want a banana, I can send you the energy of the banana on the moon. You receive it through communication system we developed. You taste the banana, you get the energy of banana, you have the pleasure of the banana. So what we came up with was, and we discussed this extensively before with 2 military governments, armies, that we do this for the soldiers. And then the Gaza came out, and the technology is ready for it. So we set out, instead of setting truckload of food, we set up a system in our center in Austria where we're going to do it with the scientists or astronauts, we do it with the people. So we have developed a special system that is dynamic, and it can transfer all the energies for the blood, for the brain, all the antibiotic range, all the painkillers, everything else, and you just put a headphone on and you receive it. And there's a way to receive it. And we made this operational about 2 weeks ago. We have penetrated the whole of Gaza. There is more or less 70–80% of the Palestinians know about this because we found a way to get into it. We didn't tell no one about it. And a lot of knowledge seekers sent us, oh, these are the groups. You send us a group, we still use your groups. And then it came, which we knew 3–4 weeks before. We announced it in a very hidden way in the teaching. We knew that the Iranian military has got into the Gaza actually without arms. Iranian soldiers got into Gaza without arms, bring in their pots and pans from the military base and start feeding the Gaza. Food goes in, we know all the way they're getting the food in, and this puzzled the American and the Israelis because they thought, that's it, we got it, we're gonna squeeze these people to what we get. But how did the Iranian military appear with their flags and everything else? If you've seen them when they arrived, they walked in, all of them with the big flags of Iran and the open kitchen. We're not here to fight you Israelis, we are here to feed. So, in a way, Israelis tried to block the Keshe Foundation, that because we use communication. We went a step into the space system. We are delivering food in a different way. And now we have the advantage of Iranian military inside has made life much easier. And we would like to leave it at that point that we don't need to carry any more pizzas into Gaza. They can have a pizza, margarita, whatever you like. You think of it, you get the energy of it. And Israelis cannot block it. And this is the next step technology, which now we use it for Gaza. We learn Next time it's an earthquake in north of Italy, you use it for your people. Next time is volcanic eruption somewhere else. We have people we can't get to the people. They have a mobile phone. You have a mobile phone, we can feed you. You have a mobile phone, you're the richest man, stuck in the cave with a Sherpa behind you on top of the Everest, you can get fed. You're in pain, you've broken a leg, we can get you, deliver the painkiller with your headphone. It's a space technology. Instead of sending your voice through the new plasma technology, we send the energy of the medicine and you receive it. There is a technique to it to receive it. And we have created that technique. We can convert energy of the plasma into the matter energy. And we teach people how to do it. And thanks to the Iranian military, we will feed all the people in Gaza once our program is completed. And it'll be a good test because in China they have earthquakes quite frequently, every 10 to 15 years. We have huge disasters. Military cannot get in. We get people all over the world flying to help. Now everybody knows, open the phone, there is an app, you load an app, you receive, doesn't matter you're Chinese in the earthquake, there's American next door to you, and if there is somebody else. This is a change in science. So Gaza for us is the first test, and because of what Israelis did with the art delivery technology, so we bypassed them. We're developing a technology that he had to come. He had to come. And the beauty with it is that there are 8 billion of us. There are 9.5 billion mobile phones on this planet. You understand? So it's not that hard. There's 1.5 billion every year, and God knows how many 100,000 adds to it. So there isn't, the problem is not. But if you go back to the teaching of Keshe Foundation, some 8-10 years ago, always said, if you have 2 mobile phones, I can feed you, get you everything you need. And if you get more mobile phones in the market, every man will have to, even the monkeys in the jungles will carry one because they're found from somewhere. We can feed the monkey, let alone the man.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for sharing this part. I'm just making sure my internet connection is fine. Me properly?
Yes, we hear you fine.
Just check. Yes, I just.
Now we don't hear you. Your microphone shut off. Oops, I think we lost Stefania's internet connection briefly here.
Here she is. She's coming back.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. Sorry,
Yes,
I come out
we
for
hear you.
mistake. Yeah, come out for mistake. Sorry. Yes, very interesting because I really recommend everyone to go and to re-listen this interview. After this interview with Eleonora Fani and Mr. Keshe in Sanya, we had another flood of new knowledge seekers. So this interview definitely goes around, and more people now are coming and enjoying the language group in Telegram. We even have Italian people, not just from Italy. So we have some people from UK, some from Germany. I'm sure now there are many Italian people from all over the world. So we have, like, in 6 days, we had like 1,000 people coming in the chat, new knowledge seeker. Definitely what I found it's that the knowledge seeker of today are pretty ready. That's why never than before we have so much people coming in. And also I want to thank you, Eleonora Fani, because the interview was done, I think, much better, because you don't have to listen to Italian talking and then be translated. This is much more professional. Is her, you know, she's an actress, so she's they're professional. So it's not like we used to do an Italian interview. So it's much better quality, and we see the result. It's really funny because today has been answered a lot of questions, because we got all these new people coming. We're having a lot of questions from knowledge seeker, new knowledge seeker. So one question was, what is transmutation? And I really like how Mushfaq, and Dean and Andreas had shared their understanding of what transmutation is. So I see transmutation as well, like you know, like Mr. Keshe said, fish in the tanks. I see more like, or when Mr. Keshe talked about the water in the window, the water changes stage from vapor to liquid, or then solid. So for me, transmutation, from my understanding, is change of state, and like happened with the water, by energy level, and also that because another question was in the chat from Italian knowledge seeker was yes, but we know that, for example, there is a transmutation session coming this Friday, and one question was, yeah, but because we said that the transmutation session are the practice of the theory of the free weekly teaching with Mr. Keshe. So the Friday is the practice of the weekly teaching, but rightly so, someone said, yeah, but £300, €300, not everyone has €300, especially in Italy, the wages are low. But if you listen to, and the answer was in Mushfaq, if you listen people like Mushfaq that they live in Bangladesh, for them, for many people in Bangladesh would be impossible. So a part of the answer was from Mushfaq, where he said that, you know, we are a plasma device, and the machine they show us the way, but we can also do ourselves, because we are better than the machine. You know, we cannot beat the human body, and so we need to practice, and he brought himself to practice, because many people in Bangladesh have no chance to pay £300. And then the other answer came from Dean, came from also Andreas. You know, we're supporting for who can pay. You're supporting, even Mr. Keshe said it now. It's collective effort, it's collective work. So who can pay, who live in a rich countries, got lots of money, and £300 are nothing. They, instead of you know, buy a Prada bag, maybe they can optimize on invest their money on this, and doing so, you can feel what cosmic ray are. You can feel, you can have a better understanding of what it's all about by practice, by feeling, and then you, obviously, more you practice, the more become easier to replicate whatever you felt, and then learn. So, and then teach. So you can, and then you sustain the foundation, like you heard with Mr. Keshe now in the interview, that you will help the foundation to stay independent. In this way, we can research what we want, the way we want it, and they can use your if you offer yourself to do this session, the benefit for foundation is that thanks to you, they can test how far they can go. So for example, for Gaza, I make example with Gaza. So in the last plasma session, for who was present, we were put under test, and we were given the fields of fish, meat, vegetables, and medication to reduce pain, like a painkiller. So we had to practice and see. For us, it was practice to see what's happening when they change in the environment, how our body reacts, and how you react, and which is your level of understanding to, and which result you're getting from what is offered to you. But the foundation, in the research point of view, they see, okay, how many people can feel the taste of, they see how far they can go with their machine to understand it better. So if what the structure that Mr. Keshe said, that they learn a technique to create energy plasma into energy matter to feed people, and to give the medication. Last Friday, they could learn from us. They could learn from us how far this technique is good. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Okay, I'm finish off. So yes, so this was my experience as well of last session. I did add a taste of different food, so it was very useful. And then if another country go in trouble, now they know better what to do. So I just want to thank everyone in the background that helped the Italian group to support the newcomer. And I just want to thank all of you. And I really recommend to listen this workshop. Okay, I'll finish because I heard that maybe I talk too much. Okay, and you answer a lot of questions even of the Italian knowledge seeker. So thank you so much.
Hello, dear souls. It's me again, Jaco, UC member and representative of the Dutch language. I want to ask you, please allow your souls to guide and to support you. And when you feel so, start sharing and spreading the knowledge. Because we're all equal. No one is higher, no one is lower. And we are all students and teachers, same time. We really have to understand the following text of Mr. Keshe. And I know I repeat myself, but it is so important that I have to repeat it. Mr. Keshe says, as I always said, life doesn't start with the matter. Life starts with the fields. Interaction of the fields creates a plasma. Interaction of the plasmas creates physics. And the interaction of the two plasmas of physics creates chemistry. And then multiply with its biology, and multiply of it is the essence of enlightenment of the soul. And then, when enough souls interact and work together, become the soul of the Creator. If we understand this part, then we understand no limits. Now it's my thoughts and what I've learned from the teachings of Mr. Keshe, the workshops. The process that Mr. Keshe just described, it works in both directions. Energy to matter and matter to energy. What do we need when we manifest anything we can imagine? Where will we live? And what living room will we create to welcome our guests? Will it be a cozy cave somewhere in the mountains? Or will it be a loft on a cliff where you can smell the ocean? As soon as we start to understand the possibilities of our soul, there's only one conclusion: that there's no limits. Now this brings us in the position to choose which way we go. Question rises: how will we continue our life without limits? Do we continue like we did past centuries, by gathering and stealing what we can? Even if we abuse others in their way of progressing and growing, because everything we learned up till now is to serve. And serving means to help others in every thinkable way. We can serve our parents when they need our help. As a child, we took their help, and later we grow older. It's the other way around. But also our neighbors or colleagues at work, we can help. And what about the beings in our energetic soul environment? Did you met one yet? Is your vision open to allow to see them and meet? Our behavior in physicality makes it possible to come to this point. Puts a smile on my face if I think about the first reactions we all will show when these new points of contact start. The beauty of traveling across the universe and Unicos definitely will bring us these experiences. Last week, a former member of the foundation was writing a lot of bad things about the foundation and Mr. Keshe. I honestly was thinking how it is possible to carry around so much frustration of the past. How people, by focusing on how to humiliate others, try to put themselves in a better light. My wish for them is to understand that it's only themselves to unblock and manifest their own future. As Mr. Keshe said, we all have to find our own way to understand that it is ourselves who have to work on our pathway of learning, understanding, training, and become that soul that deserves the traveling into deep space. All the technical support is for us to understand the truth about ourselves. So let's go forward step by step and know that in the end, we will have the ability to choose which dimension, time, and place we want to be in. To learn not to harm anyone anymore by the way we live and travel. So wherever we go, we will be independent souls without harming no one no more. This perspective is what should be our goal. Think we as one. We can go to the next slide, please.
Thank you, Jacko, for those thoughts and intentions, and your delivery was wonderful as always. Your beautiful voice and the way that you express yourself as a soul, it touches the other souls. And thank you, Jacko, for that wonderful energy that you've just released for all to receive. So at the moment, this is bring the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council. And as Sweta is not present in physical form with a voice, a beautiful voice, we have to deal with the presence of the voice of Dean and the thoughts and wishes of yourselves being brought forward in this moment. So the needs and wishes in this moment are, I would like to explain something or like to show something. I have, over the past moments, I've been teaching some people something called the One Cup, One Life. And I think it's a great way as a way for new people to come into the technology and into the knowledge. It explains, and you can explain many things with this when you physically see it and you see an image that describes some of the technology and some of the aspects that we speak about. So for some of the new people here, we have a condition within the containment of this jar, and we have water, salt water, that is interacting. The fields of it are interacting with the environment, and with something very special that was brought forward by Mr. Keshe, a nuclear engineer, and all his wonderful wisdom and understanding of universal conditions. He gave this as a gift to humanity, where we create a condition with this nano-coated wire, where we open up the molecular structure of the material, and create like a super highway of energy. And when you connect that with other materials, which would be dependent upon the usage, but in this particular usage, it was using zinc, which is connected to the emotion, and copper, which is connected to the physicality of man. And so, as you can see here, this was after, I think it was literally a very short time. I think it was under 30 seconds. There was an interaction of the fields, and you can see the fields gathering in this containment, in this very image. Now, there was a lot of before the cup was made. So before this soul was interacted with and brought forward, there was information given and knowledge shared. And the knowledge shared then was focused by the attendees, by the interactions of the souls into this cup. And the purpose of this cup was given a few years ago by Mr. Keshe. It was brought in, it's called the One Cup, One Life. And it was brought in to help many souls that needed to deplete the energy of a stronger energy pack. And so this condition was made, and we used as an application the plasma waters once we washed them to apply to our bodies and to spray in the environment and to do many different various things. The knowledge, the sharing of the knowledge is like all journeys. It starts with the first twist. So there's a preparation of the materials. There was being able to strip off the plastic off of copper wire. So you had to have braided copper wire, stranded copper wire. And this gives a field strength, a different condition. And then when you actually take away the plastic and you coil it around another implement, it could be a pencil, it could be something else, and you make a coil. And so every twist and turn, according to the knowledge and what Mr. Keshe has taught, and to my understanding, creates a condition. And my focus, the focus of the people in the group, created an intention that was placed within this containment, within the cup. And as I said, within a very short period of time, gas in a nano-solid state, started to appear, started to manifest. So if we remember the picture that we saw earlier on, when we say like connecting the souls in the universe, you see the same interaction there in another shape and form. In the cup, we're seeing it in a matter state condition. In the universe, we're seeing it in a plasmatic condition. And we are being taught how to interact in both dimensions. And for the new people that are coming on board and are being the commanders of their own ship, are being the captains of their own ship. This knowledge, once you interact with it and you allow it to gently interact with you, don't try and force your way around and to when I remember when I first came to the knowledge, I wanted to know everything. How do I do this? What do I do? How many twists and turns? What can I do? Tell me. And sometimes it can be too much. You have to slow down. Have to let it come to you at the right time, place, and position. And then once you start to interact, it gradually unfolds before you, a bit like the GANs. And then you put the intention into it. And this interaction, very much like the interaction of a man on planet Earth, and then the structure that we have that carries around the physical body, but also has this soul present within the structure. And its interaction is just like this containment. So our thoughts, our intentions, our field strength, our core. So the core of us, the seed that's within us, what do we attract by that core? Because the interaction of the core within you is what attracts, what you pull in, what you receive in the moment. And so there's many, many different ways to receive. And for some of us, receiving something that for one of us may be love, and for one of us, it may be the opposite. It's a field strength. It's an understanding. It's knowledge. And Mr. Keshe and the foundation and all the beautiful knowledge seekers that have felt the calling from the soul aspect of their very being have interacted with this knowledge and brought it forward and trying to share it as genuinely beautiful, ordinary people. No one higher, no one lower. But the knowledge is superior. It's not superior. It's both. It's giving and taking. It's an addition to the knowledge of what we've received in the past moments. And then when we understand some of this knowledge and we start to share it, we receive, like the fields that are being generated within this structure, within this containment, and it comes back to us. It feeds us. It gives to us. It nourishes us. It makes us feel in a different way. It touches the essence of the soul. And it can also give and take, give and receive. And it's good to receive. We all need to receive. We need to receive the knowledge. We need to receive the beauty that is being shared as a gift to humanity in this moment. And this picture, I think, can be used and can be spoken about in many, many different ways. You can see little bubbles there that could be a universe in itself that are interacting within that environment. It could be a galaxy. In this instance, it's the containment of a cup. But like the cup of life, which is the physical form of ourselves, or the cup of the earth, which has the oceans and the containment of the fields by the interaction of the sun and the interaction of the magnetical gravitational fields connecting with Mother Earth and creating the matter state. So we're going from matter to plasma and back again, as Jacko said earlier on. And we are interacting with this in many, many different ways now. The next stage on, where this condition, Mr. Keshe doesn't need anymore. He's now moved past this. He's now gone into the transmutation of a position where you receive these fields that you see in this containment without actually being able to touch them as such, without using the physicality. But you're receiving the field interactions like the interaction of a magnet, one against the other, where you actually, when one pushes or pulls against the other, you get another reaction against the other magnet. So these interactions of the gaseous state that you see within this is starting to become solid, like in your physical form. And so those interactions are through intentions and the beauty of your giving soul, the beauty of the interaction of you that creates a condition very much like this cup. And then when you receive more of the knowledge, you will then start sharing your knowledge, and you will receive from the other souls, from the universal souls. We've heard earlier on that all the souls are present, and all the souls on planet Earth are the Universal Council. We're all part of it. We all breathe the same breath. As I breathe out now, as I speak now, you receive. And then as you speak, as you breathe out, I receive back. We're part of the same structure, the same containment. So when I receive the energy of this particular plasma, the fields of it, I become peaceful. I become in a position where either I can balance myself by receiving the energy that I need. And then that knowledge, that plasma that I receive, I then share with the others, and then they start to experience it and grow from it and understand it. They use their seed, the seed that is the beauty of the knowledge within inside themselves. So the interactions of the fields, it's the wealth. And where is the wealth? The wealth is within me. It's inside of me. It's inside these fields, this interaction, this superhighway of knowledge in this moment. So my needs and wishes, the needs and wishes of your community, of your thoughts, of your presence, of your soul, is the beauty that you can share with each and every person in this moment, the transmutation of your condition, of your heart and soul, giving and sharing. And it is always the most beautiful experience when you experience the souls present with you, and you understand, you feel the condition, you feel the emotion. And we're being taught to not feel the emotion, to let that go. It's the key to being transparent, like in the universe. So within this containment, within this cup, there is much knowledge. It looks very simple, but the knowledge is the totality that is being taught. And we know just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, or a tip of the iceberg of what's really being taught in the universe. But we have to start somewhere. And the knowledge is so beautiful that when it touches you, that field interaction will give to you and create that peace that we all so need and wish in these moments. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dean.
Actually, Rick, I just suddenly thought there was another picture. We could I don't want to take too much time because I know we're probably going a bit late, but there is another picture I'd like to quickly just mention. So this was a picture that I was on a walk with some other fellow souls, and these souls came to see us. And the interaction, as you can see, just happened to capture a moment. And this particular soul shone brightly in that moment. But the other souls behind are all equal, all incredibly beautiful. And that is just the soul that we physically see and its interactions in its environment. And it shows its manifestation of its beauty with the core interaction of the sun, of the interaction of the planet in the matter state, but the soul of this beautiful animal and the animals that are present, and there's countless trillions and billions of them, they all shine like this, the same as you do. You all have this beauty within you, this real beauty. And when you actually sit, when you're actually still with yourself, inside yourself, you will experience these moments of just incredible joy and happiness and sharing that brings peace. This particular soul that is present or the souls present in these pictures, they don't, I don't think they're judging. They're not judging the human that's taking the picture. They're interested, but they don't talk the language. They don't speak the language. They sense and feel it. They know, they sense when you are at peace with yourself because they come close to you. when they sense that you're not, they tend to stay at a distance. We know with plasma, when you receive the plasma, the knowledge, when you receive the essence of it, that many creatures start to come closer. They start to interact with you. And this isn't just the creatures that are present on planet Earth. These are all the souls that are present in many, many different dimensions. And so this is the essence and the beauty of the knowledge that many of the people present in this moment and have come to understand a part of. And we share this knowledge with each and every one of you. And we are very, very humbled and grateful for your presence, because we know and we understand the beauty of your soul and the fact that you are being enhanced and sharing your soul that is then passed on to all the souls that are present, whether it's in physicality or non-dimensional. And it's always a joy. Thank you very much for listening once again. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for showing that picture, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it, Dean. It's quite a powerful image for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny that particular soul wanted to be present, and funny enough, the souls in the background, which would be the not all of them, I don't know, I wouldn't know, but that would be the ladies. But funny enough, I had two other small dogs that were walking with me, and the ladies come forward and were very, very protective of the dogs, because they weren't quite sure. I think they had some small ones. So they were the brave souls that came forward and nurtured and brought the beauty forward. So it's not always just the physical form of the manifestation of the beauty. It's the caring and loving and sharing that's in the background or is present in each and every moment. We all know the mother's love, and we all know that the beauty of the presence of the father as well. And when we combine that field strength with sharing with the children in all the dimensions, then we get this essence of beauty that is beyond, I think, even I understand sometimes. It's extraordinary. And this is the plasma of the soul. Thank you, Rick.
Very good, Dean. Very good. Okay, are there any other needs and wishes that need to be expressed? I don't see anything in the YouTube or chat. No hands up, so I think we're clear.
I think we can move to the next slide. Sorry, Rick. I think we can move to the next slide, and we wish that Sweater was present to do some singing and dancing.
Well, as Elizabeth says in the chat here, the future is brilliant. I think that sums it up, especially with the last slide. Okay, well, let's move along to the last slide here.
Go ahead, John, if you'd like to read.
I was going to add to what you were saying. I've experienced that same impression, let's put it this way, with birds and mosquitoes. The mosquito will land on your arm, and if you don't bother it, it'll be there about 10 minutes, and it won't perforate your skin, and it won't inflate its stomach with blood. And if you leave it there, it'll remain for about over 10 minutes and then fly off. And I've seen this with birds. Birds will walk about a meter away from where one is, and they won't shoo off. I imagine you've had that same impression.
Yeah, John, many times that the animals, you know, when you're really at peace with yourself because they sense it straight away. They feel strength, they know, and they really know. You sense it yourself. There's like an immediate feel strength interaction. It's like the magnets. You suddenly get this attraction, positive or negative, you know, magnetical or gravitational. And then you get this position where it goes dong, fixed position, and you know you've that field strength matches, and you get this beautiful interaction. And it's that peaceful moment. It's that space gap between the energy flow, the superhighway, that is creating the interaction between the souls finding a position. And John, thank you for that wonderful explanation. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, John, would you like to read the last slide, or would you want me to do this?
Fine, which is with this short two lines.
Yeah.
We are here to.
Sorry, John.
We are here to serve, not to be served.
The Universal Council. Thank you, John. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you all.
Well, thank you, Dean and John and everyone else for being part of our workshop here today. And all the members of the Universal Council and support members, beautiful presentation, lots of insights and lots of words of Mr. Keshe and the teachings coming through very clearly. And thank you all for your participation. And thank you everybody for attending today. Today's 323rd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. So our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I hold every week at starting at 7 a.m. Central European Summertime, which is the same as 10 p.m. this evening, Tuesday, and the 7 a.m. is Wednesday. That'll be April 24th. And that's for whether you're a newcomer or an old timer to the plasma technology. There's room for questions and topics for beginners and those who are experts. So please consider attending if you have any questions or topics you would like to have covered in the plasmatic way. We try to bring it all back to the plasma. All right, I think that's it. And usually Sweta would be jumping with glee at this point. But in her memory, we will play the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And I'm sure she'll be dancing wherever she is. And you can too. Okay, thanks everyone for being here, and see you in the next public teaching workshop, if not before then. Bye for now.